You know, guys, before we start today's video, it needs to be said, yes, I know, we probably have a very generic title for today's video, but that's almost on purpose, okay? I understand a lot of people really dislike the whole, it's over for Call of Duty, the end of Call of Duty, but like, it really is the easiest way to depict what is happening here in Call of Duty without giving you guys a title that's like 50 words long. Because in essence, when you put everything all together, all of the problems that Call of Duty, Warzone, Black Ops 6, Ranked Play, the future Call of Duty titles, the things that are happening in the back end of COD, when you put all of that nonsense together, it just doesn't sound good. Alright, we're still in a process where Call of Duty on Steam is struggling to hit 75,000 24-hour peak players, and that's a problem, okay? No matter which way you want to cut it, if you want to say Steam doesn't count, if it's the smallest player count so it's not indicative of COD, look man, I get it, I once had a pre-K education as well, but like, you look at the trends man, it tells you the whole story, but when you want to find out the context, that's when you come to videos like these.
The double champ does what the he wants!
With that being said, I need you guys to do me a quick favor here, alright? Pull through for the Scat Master for the one time, alright? Please, leave a like on today's video. It's very imperative that as many people see this video as humanly fucking possible. And on top of that, I'm gonna need you to subscribe if you're new around here. We're on the way to 50,000 subscribers. I have a massive surprise that nobody knows about for 50K, and I'd love to hit it, guys. That is the current goal. Down in the comments below, hashtag Fooly50. We're still going on with hashtag ScatSummer as well. So expect a stream later as well, but guys, let's get right into it, alright? And before showing you guys several clips and several examples of what is going wrong with Call of Duty currently, I'd like to summarize essentially the entirety of everything we're going to be talking about with this one tweet by Scatmaster Charles. He comes out here and says, Warzone Ranked Play is an absolute mess. Hackers are in every match, players are going under the map, players are teaming and selling games, SR isn't even being given back if a hacker is banned, and there's still no clear updates to fix the issues. And to add salt into the wound, here's another tweet that comes out from Doug Dimmadome Warzone himself.
Fuck you, Doug!
Seeing tons of reports that the cheating situation in Warzone Ranked is completely out of control. And look, I understand these are things that we've talked about millions upon millions of times here in the Call of Duty community, especially throughout the last couple of COD titles. But I think part of the reason people are starting to lose so much composure and why so many people are finally turning their backs on Call of Duty is because this has been going on for years. We have a game that is supposedly supposed to bring back as much nostalgic factors as humanly possible that we used to have with a game like Black Ops 6. I mean, take a look at the goddamn name, it's literally Black Ops, featuring maps and weapons through the entire Black Ops series. And here we are in Season 4, and we had so many of these problems stemming since the launch, since even before then, since the goddamn beta. I personally have been talking about hackers and cheaters and the server issues, and lo and behold, over time, somehow, some way, it's been getting worse and worse and worse. Now, just to give Sledgehammer a little bit of props, I will say, MW 2019 Part 3, although I'm not the biggest fan of it, I will at least admit that over time that game got progressively better, whereas a game like Black Ops 6 that has been developed for significantly longer has somehow gotten worse and worse and worse.
What's wrong with you, bro? What the heck? You tripping, bro. You tripping.
And with so many promises of fixes throughout Season 2, 3, and 4, I think we're getting to the point where some people who tend to crash out on Call of Duty are simply doing it significantly more. And with that, I'd like to start presenting some clips, and just by coincidence, the main person out here with the biggest crash outs currently here in Call of Duty just so happens to be Nadeshot. And we've talked about Nadeshot so many times here on the channel. By the way, Nadeshot, 100T Scat Master Fooly, it would go hard, right around the corner from the headquarters. Hit my line, brother. Anyways, this first tweet comes out from a guy named Rented Clips. He comes out here and says, Nadeshot crashing out. And in quotations, I'm getting a Cronus, bro. Everybody's cheating. And you can take a look at the clip for yourself.
Everybody's, is that what is this? It's a default Fang? How come his shit isn't moving, bro? I want to know. That's got to be a Cronus. I'm being dead serious. That is the... I'm calling Cronus, bro. I'm telling you, bro. If I pick up a Fang and I shoot it, I can hit one shot and then it's done. I'm getting a fucking Cronus, bro. I'm over it. Everybody's cheating, dude.
Now, me just being brutally honest, I haven't played this game as much as people think, so I don't know what the Fang is. It seems to be an AR or an LMG, but if it's not fully kitted out and it's more of a default skin or default selection, maybe you pick it off the ground, my assumption is that you should have a little bit more recoil, seeing as how it's not a custom loadout with the best build possible. Well, as you saw in the clip, the guy had literally no fucking recoil whatsoever goddamn ever, and honestly, just being straight up, I trust Nadeshot on the fact that when you pick up that gun, you should probably have some recoil, and if you don't, chances are you're either hacked up or you're using a fucking Cronus. Either way, you're a goddamn virgin. You shouldn't be using anything like that to your advantage, but here we are. And that's just a small example of some of the frustrations that we have here in Season 4. Obviously, there's hackers and cheaters, but when it comes to some of the devices that make it significantly harder to be detected, the first thing that comes to mind is the Cronus Zen. If you don't know what that is, it's literally a piece of hardware that you attach to your controller, and it makes you an ungodly fucking virgin, alright? That's essentially what it does. But aside from there being a hacking and cheating problem that is as clear as day in Warzone and in Call of Duty right now, here is another one that also comes out from Nadeshot, except this one comes out from Jake Sucking Cock. He says, Warzone servers are tearing everyone apart. And here's the clip that comes out from Nadeshot and Scump.
This fucking code is made out of peanut brittle and fucking dried nut. They just stuck a fucking old sock, crusty sock into a goddamn fucking computer and hit the power cable. Hey, at least the store works. I just spent fucking $300 on the game yesterday to buy their battle pass and skins and Black Cell.
He's got scammed, brother.
Now, this is something that I can also attest to, and we've seen it in some of my live streams, and I've seen it so many times just playing with the homies in ranked play on multiplayer. But more often than not, there is significant packet burst, there's so many lag spikes, there's so many instances where the servers are seemingly shitting themselves, to the point where I'm just sitting there looking at my monitor like this, like a fucking freak of nature, because I cannot believe my goddamn eyes. How can a game with a literal infinite budget and an infinite amount of resources still have a problem like this? And don't tell me it's congestion on the server side, because I'll tell you one thing right now. Back in the preseason and even Season 1 of this game, when there was significantly more players, like double to triple, we had less server issues than we do now with a quarter of the players. So it doesn't make sense to me how this is still an issue, and not only that, it's an issue that's seemingly getting worse over time, which again is on theme with the entire message of this video, is that over time, somehow it's getting worse and worse. But don't worry guys, there is another one that comes out here from Nadeshot, and I mean, when I heard this, I was in disbelief.
Call of Duty has never been worse. There was a hacker in almost every lobby we played today. 8 straight hours. Yeah, we might be idiots for still playing this game, but I'm not kidding. There were 8 straight hours of lobbies that were hacked on. And the other thing, Season 4 launched, rank play comes a couple days later after all the server issues. If you were iridescent, you got brought back down to bronze, or you went back down to diamond like you should have. They said that they were investigating reports. Nothing has happened. It's been 5 days. Gentlemen, we might be fucked.
He's got a point in pretty much every single one of these goddamn clips. Whether it's the Cronus and feeling like, you know what, in order to even play this game, I should have a Cronus myself. Or feeling like investing into this game, whether it's through money or time. But even if you're just investing time, it seems like a slap in the face to play the game when it's getting worse and worse, like we've been talking about this entire time. But then there's things that connect back to the entire first tweet that came out from Scatmaster Charles, where there's SR problems, people are losing SR and then not getting it back, even though there's promises of adjustments, even though they've been talking about how they fixed the hacking and cheating problem and that they've been cease and desisting all of these cheat providers and banning so many different accounts. And yet here we are, and Nadeshot's tweets and his clips are the exact embodiment of what so many people in the community are feeling towards this game currently. Now guys, this next part of the video should serve as no surprise. Again, if If you have been acclimated to my content here on YouTube, you know exactly what point I'm about to make when it comes to investing anything into Call of Duty nowadays. And it's that I agree with everybody that, you know, here and there are some enjoyable moments about Call of Duty, right? If you've been playing Call of Duty for like the last decade or so, then you've likely experienced a couple of games that were actually really fucking good, like borderline phenomenal, damn near perfect. And you've been holding on to that sentiment that overall, Call of Duty is still a good game. It's still a decent franchise, but genuinely, MW 2019 to the present day have been some of the most iconically worst Call of Duty games that we have played since like Ghosts, or for a lot of people maybe Infinite Warfare or even World War II. But when you think back to COD 4 through Black Ops 2, none of these current games even scratch the surface of what those games were capable of doing when it comes to giving you an enjoyable experience, day to day, consistently. And even when we did have that dud in the Call of Duty franchise before, like Ghost, or a lot of people didn't like Advanced Warfare or the entire jetpack era, you could go back to a game like Black Ops 2 and really still enjoy your experience there. There were heavily populated servers back then as well, but here your options are like going back to MW 2019 Part 3, which, look, it's still one of the better Modern Warfare titles to come out in recent times, but if I'm not trying to play that, what fucking game am I going back to, man? I'm not going back to Vanguard, I'm not going back to Cold War, sorry. I sure as fuck am not going back to MW 2019 Part 1 or 2. I'd literally rather chop my balls off and fucking eat them. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what games we could go back to when this game currently has had a 4-year development cycle. There is no way in hell that the game should be in such a poor state that it's doing so dog shit that people are seemingly hyped up for one of two things. Either the fact that there's a crossover bundle for people to spend more money on and express their virginity even more, or the fact that there's not AI being used in the game. I mean, look at this fucking tweet, man. Ana de Artemas confirmed to have voiced Eve Macaro, or Ballerina operator, in Black Ops 6 Season 4. With her bundle and event releasing this week, we had it confirmed Anna recorded herself per Activision.
Oh, hooray! Yay! Ice cream!
Wow, guys, what a great light at the end of the tunnel, right? All of this bullshit that we've been experiencing for months and months within this title alone, for what a lot of people will consider good news, the fact that AI is not being used for this particular bundle. Wow. What a fucking revelation, am I right, guys? And some criticism I have here for Nadeshot, and this ties back into the whole investing your time and money into Call of Duty. Look, again, I already expressed it. I understand why some people will invest time into Call of Duty because overall, as a franchise, you still can't get over the fact that back in the day, we seemingly had it significantly better than we do now. But when it comes to investing your money into the franchise, I am here to tell you once again, I do not recommend anybody spend any more money in the shop. Okay, no matter what the crossover is, even if you think it's cool, if you like Pineapple Express, that's cool, that's great. If you like smoking weed on 420, I don't really give a flying fuck. But do you understand that buying Cheech and Chong and Seth's stupid ass Rogen a couple of weeks and months ago literally contributed to why Activision does not give a fuck about the shelf life of this game, because it really doesn't matter to them. Even if the game is a complete and total flop, somehow they're still generating more revenue than they ever have in the past, even in the golden era of Call of Duty games. But that's gonna do it for me today, guys. I'm curious to know what you guys think about all this. What are your thoughts on some of the things that Nadeshot was saying? What are your thoughts on the things that people have been tweeting and what I'm telling you guys with my recommendations? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with my newest videos. And yeah, guys, it's been the boy Fooly. Have yourselves a good one. I'm out of here. Peace.
This ain't in my body.